I want to play a game. I want to go game by game, do a little recap. Obviously, we spend more time on certain games than on others, but with a twist.
Okay.
We're going to call this I No Longer Want To. And it could be positive, it could be negative. And for those of you at home, if you're listening or watching, this is what we mean. I'll lead off with an example, and then from there, you'll understand the theme of the show. So, George, I no longer want to try and figure out rules in the NFL.
Explain, Nick.
What the fuck happened at the end of that Broncos-Colts game? Because, bro, I'm watching that game. The Colts attempt a 60-yard field goal. They miss. Broncos are celebrating. I go to start taking a shower because I'm leaving to go to the studio. I'm like, all right, this game's over. So much for the Colts. So much for Denver being the team to fade that I've been on all summer. They're going to be 2-0. Hold on, flag on the play. I'm like, what the hell? Leverage. That's a new one. I thought understanding what a catch was difficult. So they call leverage, 15-yard penalty, bro.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty. Then the Colts go on and they kick a field goal, right? That's one incident. I told you about the primetime game with the Eagles and the Cowboys where the guy just taunts his muscles. They throw a taunting penalty on him, 15-yard penalty, but then the Eagles defense caused a turnover and they do a choreographed fake tush push in the end zone. That's not taunting or a penalty. And then yesterday, I'm watching the Giants game, and I know I'm being very sloppy. I'm bouncing all over the place, but just stay with me, and we'll go back to the Colts. But I'm watching the Giants-Cowboys game. There was offsetting penalties in which Dallas had 1 penalty. The Giants had 4 on the same play. Offsetting. It's offsetting to me if your team made a penalty, I made 1. If your team makes 4 and I make 1, that's not offsetting.
Yeah, bro. I get
what
it.
What the fuck is the NFL doing? Why is this so difficult? George, if you toss me this, right? That was a good catch. I don't need to make a football move for it to be a good catch. I don't need to grab this and put it in the fucking shopping cart if I'm at the supermarket. Why is everything so difficult? Why can't it just be simple? Last year in the playoff game, was it the playoff game? But what Eagles game was it where they're like, if the defense jumps off sides,
it was the Commanders.
It was the I know it was the Commanders, but I wasn't sure if it was the regular season or the playoff game. It was a playoff game. The referee's like, if the Commanders jump off sides again, we're gonna reward the Eagles a touchdown. So who the fuck gets credit for that?
Right.
What is happening with the NFL? Why is it so difficult? I am just gonna sit back, relax, enjoy Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and the occasional fucking Tuesday game. Whatever NFL game. I'm no longer trying to figure out the rules, bro, because I have no idea.
By the way, all these people that will come out and say that all these games aren't rigged and like, look at the stats, like the referees statistically will call an equal amount of penalties for one team and the other team. Like it usually balances out. And I'm always in the camp of thinking like, no, it's not. A false start and a leveraging penalty are 2 completely different weighted penalties.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit if it's 7-7 penalties for each team at the end of the game. If the 3 penalties that I had were on third downs or to score a touchdown, that matters and that means something. And this is something, Nick, that the referees, right, themselves, they do a great job. They get that number to be even, right? But they save these most important penalties to slant the game the way that they want it to go. All right? Like you can't tell me. And by the way, I hate to always just keep bringing up this Arkansas Ole Miss game. Leveraging happened in Arkansas Ole Miss. They didn't call it.
Whoa.
By the way, and it was 10 times more obvious in the Arkansas Ole Miss game. Very first field goal, dragged the long snapper down and the dude pretty much stepped on his back to jump and block it. That's using leverage, right? On the Colts one, It's tough to tell, right? It's muddy in there, and who's supposed to make that call, by the way? Is it the referee that's standing 10 yards behind 20 guys going at each other from that angle, or the referee that's looking this way? It's like, come on. It's a tough thing to call. But they threw that flag mighty fucking quick after they saw that, they saw that it wasn't going to make it. They said, they just chucked, it was a little one.
Yeah.
Not it. The TV copy didn't even pick it up, bro.
Yeah.
It looked like the referee dropped his handkerchief. That, I agree with you, was fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I do want to stay with this game, though.
Yes.
Because a couple of things.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Can I add another I will no longer within this team? And then it could also kind of segue into another team.
Yes.
All right. Ready for this?
Yep.
I will no longer judge a quarterback if they play behind shit offensive lines. Because, bro, let me tell you.
It's a good one.
Daniel Jones, I think this is sustainable. I know he's a punching bag. I know I saw it firsthand. He played for my team. I know he is easy to make fun of. I understand it. And I know it's been shit the last couple of years. But there's a trend now that we need to follow. We started it last year with Saquon Barkley. When people leave the Giants, especially this era of the Giants, they flourish elsewhere. Saquon Barkley. Xavier McKinney on the Packers. People always forget about him because Saquon had such an insane year one, offensive player of the year, best running back season a running back's ever had, start to finish. No one's had more yards than him. But McKinney played at a really high level with the Packers, and now they're probably the best team in the NFC. Or at least to me, all three phases of football, they've been the best team I've seen through 2 weeks. So there's been a trend of guys leaving and they flourish. And now Daniel Jones goes from the Giants, who, when Andrew Thomas don't play, that fucking offensive line is abysmal. We'll get to them in a little bit. But he leaves. Pittman, Pierce, Tyler Warren. Bro, let me tell you. Right now, Jonathan Taylor, I think, is the best running back in the league. Like, pass catching, rushing, blocking, like all three phases of a running back, I think it's him. And he is on fire. He had a monster game yesterday. And mind you, maybe last week you're like, yo, Miami sucks. They're going through it. But they did this to Denver, who consensus people feel like is one of the best defenses in the league. Patrick Surtain yesterday, they fucking picked on him like he was a bum. And I know he got banged up in like the second half.
Right.
But they were like, yo, 3rd and 6, where Pat at? Alec Pierce, first down. Pittman, first down. Downs down the field. You're like, whoa, Tyler Warren has been incredible. And it goes back to what I felt like is the best way to build a roster. Find a quarterback, protect them, go after theirs. And if you don't have it in that order, you're going to be in trouble. And the Colts have a really, really solid foundation, have a really good offensive line. And, dude, listen, man, you look at their schedule, you look at the division. At the time that we're filming, the Texans and Bucks game is going on, so we don't know what that outcome is going to be. But the Colts are 2-0. Like I said, the division, your hot take was that they were going to be the 1 seed. I wish you fucking bet it. That was like, what, 45-1 for them to be the 1 seed?
Yeah. And
controlled environment, they play indoors. Steichen now is the favorite to be coach of the year. And comeback player of the year, we give it out at 31-1. It's 12-1 now.
Yep.
So, man, I'm no longer judging quarterbacks. If you play behind a shit offensive line, I got to give you a pass, bro. I got to give you a pass. That's how I feel about it.
I love it. I feel like to play into the game, I no longer want to hear people talking about Charlie Irsay Gordon, the new owner and CEO, being on the sidelines and everyone being like, oh, like, know your place. It's like, bitch, she owns the fucking team. And she's been a part of the franchise since 2004. So not only is she familiar with everything in the organization, but she's finally given the opportunity to do what an owner and GM does, and everybody's shitting on her. Now, mind you, not everybody. There's a lot of people that are praising the fact that, she's a woman in sports, putting herself out there. She sticks out like a sore thumb. You see a fancy dress, those ugly ass headphones that she wears, and a chick with a clipboard, like on the sideline, and she's not a reporter, it's going to stick out.
Yeah.
2-0 though. So I need everybody just to pipe down just a little bit with her. By the way, hyphenating the last name, power move.
Power move?
Power move.
You for it?
I'm for it in this situation. I'm for it. You know, she's got like that Kardashian tie. It would have been Kardashian West, you know, type of situation where she's more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that was my, I no longer want to hear anything about her. Great girl, but she is married. But
both can be true.
both can be true. Correct.
Both could definitely be true.